Hey, everybody, and welcome to a Tatter-a-fact. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. So it's April. It's that time. It's tax time. It's time of year. Some of us, some of us don't like. I think most of us don't like, but some do like because you get refunds. But Willow, you were just telling me yesterday that the refunds are much lower. There's a whole lot of people not getting refunds when they were getting refunds. And those that are still getting refunds this year, it's like a whole lot less than what it's been in the past. Is that correct?
That is correct. I only got $20 back for my refund, and normally I was getting around like a couple $100 back at least.
Wow.
This is the first year I've gotten only $20
$20.
back.
It's like, why bother? $20.
I kind of felt that way too.
Right. Well, what'd you spend your $20 on?
Chipotle.
I thought you were going to say Chiba Hut.
I considered it, but technically that would have been out of the $20 budget.
That would have been out of the. Or Chiba Hut, if you don't know, if you don't live in Vegas, and I don't know if they're all over the country.
They're in Arizona as well.
Oh, they're in Arizona, but they are like sandwiches, not just any sandwich. I mean, these are good sandwiches. You got me in cat addicted. Actually, we had Chiba Hut delivered for the Super Bowl. So we had Chiba Hut sandwiches for the Super Bowl. So, wow. So your refund didn't even afford you a Chiba Hut sandwich.
No, it did not.
Wow. All right. Well, I wonder why. I wonder why that is. Why the refunds are a lot less this year than in the past. Be interesting to know that. But anyway, it's tax time, and something my dad always said, if he didn't say it once, he said it like a million times, is there's two things in life for certain. One, you're going to die, and two, you're going to pay your taxes. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. Is taxes, especially, and this really applies to the business owner. This does not apply if you're an employee and like a W-2 employee and you receive a paycheck, because the government automatically takes out all the taxes that you owe out of your paycheck. That's done automatically for you. But when you are an LLC or a C Corp or, whatever type of business you are, when you're in business for yourself, of course, we're not getting paychecks. We have to pay our own taxes. And over the last couple of years in particular, I have had lots of conversations with people that they're paying their taxes, but they're paying them at the end of the year rather than paying them quarterly. And so that's like my main focus today, is what I wanted to talk about, is if you are a business owner, which a lot of you listening are. Some of you may work for a studio owner and maybe you're on commission and receive a paycheck. But I think the majority of the people that listen to us here on a Tatter-a-fact are, you have your own little business or a big business, and you're responsible for paying your own taxes. So it's a big mistake to wait until the end of the year and pay your taxes. It's really a pay as you go so you don't owe theory. And the IRS wants you paying quarterly. The IRS does not want you waiting until the end of the year. The IRS does not want to wait until the end of the year to receive the money that you owe them. They want their money from you coming in all through the year, quarterly. So it's really important that you do that. And I think there's just in the last month, two people close to me in permanent makeup that I'm really good friends with. We started talking about this because it's tax time. So this conversation seems to be coming up organically. They don't pay quarterly. And so, we got into that conversation and I'm, trying to explain why, they really need to get set up to where they're paying their taxes quarterly and not waiting till the end of the year. So the big reason really is the IRS. And if you're not paying quarterly 4 times a year, the IRS can fine you a penalty anywhere between 0.5%, 5%, up to 25% of the amount unpaid for every quarter. So that can add up. And that can end up being a big chunk. And, and how they come up with their percentage, whether it's 5%, 10%, or, all the way up to 25%. I'm not sure how they come up with that percentage, but, no one wants a penalty of even the lowest amount, 5%. So that's the big thing is, the IRS and that penalty. And, the IRS, I've got a really good tax man in my life and he's taught me a lot. He actually was on a Tatter-a-fact podcast. I think was it last year or the year before? First season. And he's just a brilliant man and really understands the IRS and taxes and constantly taking classes himself and webinars, keeping up with everything. And the IRS, they updated their computer systems not too long ago. And so they're smarter. They catch on to things quicker. They can find you quicker. So, the last thing you want to do is piss off the IRS. Well, that's the way my mind works, is I always want to be in full compliance with the IRS. And I certainly don't want to make myself vulnerable to any fines at all. And the other thing, I think about, if let's say you didn't pay your taxes or you didn't pay all that you owed or you weren't paying quarterly for quite some time, a few years, and you ended up getting fined. I've always wondered, once you've been contacted by the IRS, once you've been fined for being not in compliance for one thing or another, are you are you in their Rolodex now? Have they red flagged you? Or do you know what I mean? I mean, I've always wondered that, and it's always just scared the crap out of me. So I've always stayed in really good compliance, and I never wanted to end up, in the Rolodex, the IRS Rolodex. So again, it's really important that we pay our quarterly taxes.